Welcome to Enchanted Tarot. This is for the sign of Scorpio. It is a general reading. That being said, it may or may not resonate with you. If it doesn't sound like it's your story, check your other placements. Your messages could be there. So, Scorpio. Wow. This could be, it could be your energy, or it could be the other person's energy. Okay, you'll know as I read the messages. So what they've given me here is the star and the anchor. Now the star was asking them to pay attention to the signs, and this did in fact pertain to something, they were wishing for. It feels like this person was not looking at the signs. That's what I feel. Not following their intuition. Something stood in the way of them, how would I say that? Something stood in the way of this person being open to looking at the signs. They didn't want to look at these signs. They didn't. That's it. Okay, so I just looked down at the anchor and I saw it right away. They weren't ready. They weren't ready to look at the at something, and that was the block. That is what blocked them from listening to the intuition, or following the intuition, or following the signs. Okay. This will all make sense, I'm sure, by the time we get to the end of it. I'll keep these here. The Journey was the first card out in this reading. And so it is about delays. It's in the reverse, so it's about delays, cancellations, obstacles. This is about their journey. Okay, or their life journey, or this journey with you. But I mean, it is about a journey. Something. There was like a sudden change of plans. Maybe this is why this journey is in the reverse. There was a disruption. They weren't ready. It could be that this person is sitting stubbornly in their corner. It feels like they've been carrying a lot of burdens. And because of those burdens, they were directed to think a certain way. It came from a wound. You see, we got the fourth chakra here. It's about love, compassion, self-acceptance. It's about the heart center. I feel like this person wasn't ready to receive love. Maybe they didn't love themselves, or maybe they felt like they were... maybe they felt they didn't deserve it, or maybe they felt unworthy. And I feel like this goes much deeper than what we see here. I feel like this goes deep into their past. So I feel like this person's heart was damaged, and I feel like there were a lot of signs as to where the real issue was. I feel like they were It's like the divine was trying to always lead them or nudge them back onto the right path, but they weren't ready. They weren't ready to look at this, or didn't want to look at it or deal with it. And it's like it reaches a point where they have to. Because they can no longer, uh, continue this way. Yeah. So what we have here is the magician on the journey reversed. It feels like they could have been deceiving themselves about what the real issue was. It could also be about, yeah, see, they were missing information or not wanting to see it. Um, or no, okay, okay. We have the Five of Swords after the fact. So they went to the extreme. They weren't careful about something they said. They were missing information. They misunderstood or there's something that they didn't see clearly, or they didn't. It's like they were viewing something from a different place. It made them misunderstand something. Um, there's a misperception on this person's part based upon some damage to the heart area, right? To the heart. This person wasn't open. Their heart was closed. So if you had a relationship with this person in the past, it would have been difficult. They wouldn't have opened up about some of these things that happened to them, or the way that they were really truly feeling about you, about your situation together, or anything that reflected upon that relationship. They would have everything, any doubts or concerns or suspicions, and these suspicions, mind you, come from this wounded heart. But I mean, they would have kept all of those inside. They wouldn't have talked about it. They would have been very guarded. But you may not have been able to read this person or tell what's going on within them. And they weren't talking. So it created a storm, I feel. They were heavily burdened. And I feel like they may have taken a decision or said something that stung. So they weren't careful with their words. They went to the extreme on something that they perceived was happening, or was going to happen to them. Okay, or that was happening in the relationship. So it is the obstacle, or the reason why these two things, it's why the journey's in reverse. It's why you guys could be apart at this time. And it also would explain a length of time. This would have taken time. This is something major that this person is learning, because the anchor would speak to an important life milestone that this person is reaching. Okay? Yeah. And it would definitely have taken them a long time to get to this point. But they're here now. And this is the turning point. The anchor can also indicate that this is happening soon after a very long period of time. So now what we have here is justice and this 7 of coins. So weighing things up. Okay, there's a realization. Okay, with justice. Not a realization. There's justice, when it appears, requires us to be honest with ourselves and our issues and acknowledge the truth of our lives and act accordingly. Because and this is what they're doing. They're assessing a situation. They're pointed towards the past, and because they want to build a future, they have to look here, and they have to be honest with themselves about the issues and acknowledge the truth of their lives and act accordingly. Because if they don't, if they're not honest, because look, not being honest is what put them here in the first place. It's only when you're not honest with yourself that justice turns in reverse and everything just feels so unfair, you know. So they weren't honest with themselves about their issues, and they, because they never took care of those things, they went to the extreme. It's like it culminated. And so now this is about this realization that, okay, maybe I wasn't seeing correctly. The sun is very low in the sky. It's just beginning to rise. So nothing really is clear, you know. Everything still sleeps. So it's like maybe we could say in that respect that this person was, their eyes were closed. They were still asleep. And now it's like, it's time to wake up and see the truth and be honest with yourself about these issues. Acknowledge the truth of your situation and see the truth about where these thoughts and these feelings and these burdens that you're carrying, where they are actually coming from. You know, you have death here, and so this is about a very sudden and radical change that is needed or is taking place. You know, it depends where you guys are in this energy. The end of this cycle, however, is expected. But, and it may have taken a long time, because death talks about all past and present ghosts that have to be overcome. And that can cause some depression. Even you could see some resistance. So depending how much they resisted going back to look at those would depend on, or would reflect the amount of time or the timing of things, you know. And then once they do see it, and they do, believe me, here they are, okay? So this is getting honest with yourself, okay, about the things that are behind you, or the actions you've taken, the things you've done. So they're getting honest with themselves here, owning up to responsibility for the Knight of Swords energy. This is something they said or did, you know, and wanting to seek somebody's forgiveness and understanding for this. Wanting another chance. we have judgment here. So again, it is about forgiveness, wanting to wipe the slate clean. It's possible they might feel like the other person won't believe them when they come forward. So for that, maybe again, time has passed, because this would require courage on their part, especially if they know that that they've said something that may have really hurt that person, and maybe they didn't really mean it, but they said it. And words once spoken, are not, I mean, you can't take them back. But you can maybe explain where they came from and why they were said. And so this person is with the fourth chakra. I feel like this person and this realization, I mean, the fourth chakra indicates that a much needed healing from a previous broken heart is taking place. And it's taking place, why? Because of this willingness now to actually pay attention to the signs that have and the consequences, so the signs that led them, that they didn't, how would I say that, the signs they weren't paying attention to, that they now are willing to look at. Okay, because they were being given nudges along the path, but they just weren't ready to look at those things. They now are ready for this. They have this realization. They're getting honest now, or have gotten honest now about, depending where they are in the energy, of course, about their issues, about the truth, and wanting to own up to this, wanting to clear this up, to ask for forgiveness, to get these things off of their chest that they've been carrying. They're looking back at what they've lost, or what they've possibly lost, and I feel like they're releasing the swords and are now going to follow their intuition, having to do with a reunion. And so the consolamentum is the ending of one cycle, as some type of achievement has been made at this point that allows them a new beginning. And oh, look at that, the consolamentum is down here also. So this this achievement, it brings new hope. There they are, standing in the Three of Wands energy. They've climbed the hill. There's this caravan behind them there. And they've climbed to the top of the hill. We know that they've come a long way, that it's been a very long journey so far. And they've gained new information. And this journey has brought new hope. See, they're looking back. So they're looking back on the journey. And they're ready to release those swords that were the obstacle that stood between them and this new beginning. And you know. And so now they're walking away from this old cycle into the new cycle towards the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot. There you go. There's the world, or in this case, in this deck, it's called the Consolamentum. So here it is, and there they are, walking away from that old cycle into this new one because they've learned what they needed to learn. It is this achievement, this milestone that they have reached, and wow, there you go. Now it's important. I see a Six of Swords following this Chariot. See, now they know how to proceed. This Six of Swords, so I would have to say, and this is just fantastic, just a really powerful, a deep reading. But there is a small warning here to make sure that you take care of all of those ghosts. You know, because those swords that this person, they've reached a calmer shore on this card. But now they're carrying some swords onto that new beginning, so to speak, you know. And those swords are are past ghosts, scars, things that weren't healed or never healed. You don't want to bring those onto that shore. So I'm telling you now, get rid of them before you get there, or for whomever this reading is for. And if you yourself, so if you or the other person, whoever this is, if you also have some ghosts from the past surrounding this person or some relationships, you yourself need to bring those onto the table and lay them onto the table. Because this relationship, it's about two people, not one, two. So if you remember that, and make sure that everything is laid onto the table, I feel that all will go well. This is about a healing, and it is divinely guided. That is what I have for you. I thank you for watching, for liking, and for sharing my videos, and for subscribing. Also, thank you to everyone who has sent in a donation. It is greatly appreciated. Many blessings to all of you.